Michelle Comeau. I'm a student at Nova Southeastern University. Today we'll be discussing NASA's Digital Learning Network, or DLN, and the progress that it's gone through over time. Now, the DLN actually was created in 2003. There were 3 sites set up in the United States, which act as a means for teachers and students to be in touch in real time with NASA scientists. Sometimes they were even able to choose their astronaut of their choice if the time allowed. And this video was inspired by Damon Terry and Dan Sherry, both employees of NASA at the time. They wrote an article which was compiled and placed into this distance education book, Statewide Institutional International Applications, compiled by Dr. Michael Simonson. Just a little background: in 2003, as I said, there were 3 stations or sites set up, and now in 2016 there are actually 10. They each have their own scientific agenda for the most part, but they all offer the same programs, and teachers are allowed to request these programs in order to supplement their curriculum in their classroom. And it's real time, so students actually get to interact with these scientists, ask questions on the fly. It's very exciting, and so let's take a closer look.
So let's start with looking at the program itself. NASA embraces the learning cycle of the 5 E's: engage, explore, explain, extend, and then evaluate. And in order to do this, they ask teachers to preload their exercises, or essentially give students information about what they would be learning, who would they be talking to, how this would supplement their curricula. Also asked to give after exercises in order to evaluate. NASA was asking teachers to engage prior to these programs and then evaluate once the programs or interactions were over. Now, there was an issue with this, and NASA learned about this because they gave the teachers and students some surveys to answer after the programs, and it was that the interactive conferencing lasted about 55 to 60 minutes, but teachers just didn't have enough time to preload or postload these programs, and so sometimes students were coming ill-prepared or without any prior information about the scientists that they were interacting with, which led to a less meaningful experience and not necessarily practicing the learning cycle of the 5 E's. And so because of these surveys, NASA said, okay, we will do that. We will shorten the interactive sessions to 45 minutes, but we ask this of you. You make sure that you do pre-test and post-tests. One thing that we're going to do to help with the pre-test is that we are going to mandate all students send in questions for the scientists before the interaction begins. So it's almost enhancing the front-loading or the pre-testing, if you will. And what they found was that since 2013, because this is mandatory, that students have been engaging even more. They're so excited to hear from their scientists. Also, what they've done is they've taken a look at the process. And so scientists were very excited about engaging with these students, and teachers would sometimes order multiple programs per week. And this was stretching the scientists thin and not allowing, again, for the most meaningful experience. And so the process has changed, and you can't just get as many program requests in as you want within 1 week. NASA said, in order for us to truly engage this model, we too have to put limitations on ourselves. There are only 1 per week that you can request, and this actually allowed for teachers to request more specific scientists, like I said, perhaps even an astronaut of their choice if that's what they were learning about in their curricula, and it was a more meaningful experience for all involved. Let's take a look.
Thank you for all of your wonderful questions. You are a great class.
Wow, I can't believe we're talking to a real NASA researcher.
Yes, Takia.
Can we do this again?
Of course you can do this again. I have many colleagues that are signed up and ready to talk to classes just like yours. Now don't forget to sign up early. See you next time.
Now let's take a look at the progress. Well, the space shuttle missions have ceased. They've retired, so no more web launches, unfortunately. But that also allotted time and money for other explorations like the Mars rover. We're able to see Orion do its orbit in the International Space Station, and the pictures and distance learning from, out in the universe has just been amazing, this progress that we've seen. Every week they have a live TV program, which is essentially a live webcast through their NASA television station, and you can talk to a NASA scientist just about any time of day through social media. You can follow them on Twitter, you can watch live feeds, you can have conversations. Anytime you have a question outside of the digital learning network, you can constantly be in contact with NASA scientists and truly learning at a distance.
Well, thank you for joining me in discussion of NASA's Digital Learning Network, the programs, the process and the progress that has happened from 2013 to 2016. A special thank you to both Damon and Dan and their original article. I hope that you'll join me on April 22nd as the International Space Station records Earth for 24 hours straight in light of Earth Day. And that is distance education that's out of this world. Sorry. Thank you.